And I swear to you, one of the things that I noticed was one of the things that was the most talked about today.
I know where you're going.
It was the week celebration. There was no celebration when the clock hit 0. And today, and I'm not sure if do we have that video, Pete? I'm sorry, of the 4 different championships. Okay, no problem. We're not in studio today, folks, so it's a lot harder to get things to you. So, Pete, I totally appreciate you about that. We're at Buddy's Pizza, by the way, today, not in studio. But there was somebody put a video together of the final out of a baseball game, the final seconds of the Stanley Cup final, final seconds of the Super Bowl, and the final seconds of
NBA.
Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Welcome. Of the NBA Finals. And
you're going to be the greeter.
There was no celebration. I was stunned. I kept thinking about
– I'm going to tell you something in a little bit.
I kept thinking about Isaiah Thomas and Chauncey Billups and Joe Dumars and Dennis Rodman and Ben Wallace. Oh, baby.
Oh, my God.
Oh, baby.
It's smash time.
There's the smash.
Here? There's the smash.
Good God.
Oh, my gosh.
Good golly.
Can you get a
well,
good
let
shot?
It cool for
okay,
a minute.
Let it cool. I was going to show that. Look at this. Look at this. I don't want it to fall down. That is incredible.
Ryan's got the smash pizza. I've got the 79.
Try that smash.
The 79. Count these pepperonis. There's 79 pepperonis on here.
1, 2,
for 79
3.
years.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, skip
baby.
a few. 78.
Can we go to a
79.
commercial, please?
Hey man, stop drooling.
Such a weak celebration, man. Such a weak celebration.
NBA is always the weakest of all of all of them. NBA would be the weakest.
What do you
and
think?
I'm going to explain this to you. Let me explain it to you,
Yeah.
Ricky. I mean, Lucy.
Yeah, okay.
When the Knicks won in 1970 and 72, well, I do. I was watching. You know what they did?
What'd they do?
The horn went off, and the players ran off the court.
Mm-hmm. Because they didn't want to get beaten.
Right, but I'm just saying. That's what I remembered as a kid. I'm like, where you going? Where you going?
And you know what I remember as a kid? Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Hugging.
Larry Bird and Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale. Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman and John Sally. And
Good memory.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. Good memory. Michael Jordan was crying, I remember, a bunch of times.
Go back to Kobe, what it meant to Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, think about these players. And today, and it was almost so matter of fact that it was a relief. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're like, their average age is 24. It should not be a relief to you.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a relief when you've been there 10 straight years and you haven't won it, or you're some veteran, or you're this perfect dream team, and you've like the Warriors when they had Durant, Curry, and Thompson, and Draymond Green, and you win it. That's a relief. But when you're the Oklahoma City Thunder and you're just like
your first championship in that state. In that city. First time. You got a blue out. They've been a great crowd. I got to give them that. They've been a great crowd, and they support their team.
On their feet the entire way.
Do you think?
But basketball, for sure, out of all the sports, I would think is the least celebrated game championship on the court, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Do you think Halliburton?
And now it is for sure, Ricky.
Do you think Halliburton being hurt played into that?
No.
Because
they forgot about that by that point.
You think so? It didn't play into it? Like maybe they thought like it didn't have the same luster because the best guy wasn't out there?
I don't know, man. I think
it's a good idea.
I think when you win, you win. You know, and
hockey's number one. The most celebrated championship.
Look at the Dodgers. Look at the Dodgers last year when they won it, though.
I didn't watch it. When it was over, I just went click. When the Red Sox won it, click. I don't watch. I swear. I mean that. Not 1 second
I believe you.
Of a team that I despise will I watch celebrate a championship. I loved when the Pistons walked off on the Bulls. And I was in Jersey.
Yeah, I like that too, actually.
That's what I like.
That doesn't bother me.
No, I'm just I'm just saying I would expect a bigger celebration. Now, you look at OKC. Is it good for the league that OKC is as good as they are? This is a basketball team that is the 4th youngest basketball team in the NBA. They have no free agents, and all
And
of their
7
guys
first-round
are essentially on rookie deals. They could sign the most expensive free agent in the offseason and won't bat an eye at it. Is that good for the NBA?
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
I don't think it matters because there's been 7 straight different NBA champions in the last 7 years.
If there was ever a team that had the opportunity to repeat, though, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You're probably right. They are superb. Anson has been loving this team since day one. He has told us this team is going to be something, and it's going to be a long run for them. That's the West, the way I look at it. Now, let's look at the East.
Can I just,
Go ahead.
before you look at the East, let me just say this about SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're a great team.
By the way, this pizza's down to 78
Go ahead.
pepperonis.
They're a great team. SGA is a great
77.
player. He's probably the best player in the league. But I think where you play in the NBA matters. And those San Antonio Spurs teams were good. When they were good, the league wasn't as good. Nobody cared about the Pistons and the Spurs, to be honest with you. Nobody cared about when the Spurs won 5 NBA titles. I really believe that. Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, if the Spurs were involved, well, the Admiral was only involved early, but if the Spurs were involved, I think that was not a good thing for the league, for as good as they were. And this is another San Antonio Spur type run. Now, San Antonio never won back-to-back. They won, 5 championships? But they never won back-to-back. That was about as elongated a period of success as you will find. But
I hear you.
See what happens.
Now, would you say the same thing in baseball? Like if the Tampa Bay Rays would have won, it's not as good for baseball? You're probably right.
Yes.
And especially how good they were for a long time. And the Tigers were good for such a long time. Was it good for the Tigers? Was it good for baseball?
Yes.
When the Tigers had their run?
Yes, because they had
a special team.
Legitimate superstars, and the Tigers had Hall of Famers like Pudge Rodriguez. Not a Hall of Famer, but Maglio Ordonez, who had already won a championship with the White Sox.
Yep.
They had Kenny Rogers in 06,
Ooh,
a budding Justin Verlander. Then you moved to 12, and you had Torrey Hunter and all these guys.
Scherzer.
You know what I mean? Max Scherzer.
The
Tigers were like the Red Wings of 02, essentially, with all those